Hello everybody, back again. My Sony camcorder, whatever you call it, stupid thing, costs $600, I think, nowadays, brand new. I bought a used from my wife's older son. Anyway, the remote control don't work on it anymore, and so I decided to use my brand new smartphone to make videos. It doesn't show everything, like that little bitty thing down there, my Strex duck, you can barely see it. I don't know why. It's the same kind of apartments as the other one we moved from, the 2-bedroom one to the 4-bedroom one to this 2-bedroom one. They're the same size. It's just 2 minus 2 bedrooms. My wife, she wanted to move here. We own a house way on the west side, up north, about 13 miles. But the schools, she didn't like the schools where she taught, the substitute teacher. So she wanted to move down here this January, so the kids, she wouldn't have such a long drive to go to school. And guess what? She never made it back. They fired her. I should be laughing. She was taking care of me for like 18 days in the hospital since December 31st. And she just told she was going to come back too early in about 2 or 3 days after I got home. And I still had a lot of looking afterwards, especially just some stupid so people at that hospital. The doctor told the nurse, put one of those things on John. So he did go urine in a bag. Why? No other hospital ever did that. Well, it makes sense people so fucking special. Sorry about swearing, but the end part of this video is about swearing. The comments that you send, you gotta stop them, people. YouTube don't like it. You couldn't do that many years ago when I was young, when there was no such thing as a computer. You couldn't write a letter, a comment into Ann Landers in a newspaper. The newspaper would reject it if you put swear words in there. It's no different today, people. You're not being treated unfairly. You want your comments to be heard? Keep the swear words at home. Yeah, I know. I sing them in my songs. I use the N-word. I use the R-N-word. It's not my singing, people. It's the songwriters. The same songwriters that preach to your kids and sing over this thing called, what we had for many years, it's called a radio. They don't cut off the N-words for your kids on the newspaper, on the radio. Why should I cut them out? I'm not a racist. I was brought up Catholic. I was thought all people in the world are the same. Not just treat one like a slave, the next one like a different one. Wake up, people. You're not being treated unfairly. You're not getting treated any better than I was. Did you watch 20 years of Soul Train? Did you work with black people for 50 years in your life? They come up from the South. They want to learn something. They want to make a living. There's no jobs down South. Were you friends with black people for 50 years on a job? No, you weren't. Don't call me a racist. I am not a racist. I love black people. I love their music. The way they get into football, the sports. They're some of the best women in the world are playing the volleyball for the United States right now. They're black. Should I not ignore it because they're not the same color and a good race like us white people? No. Should I ignore it because they don't have the best play on the football team as the quarterback does? No. Some running backs are black. And Chicago Bears, where I'm from. We came up here 3 years ago from Chicago. But we don't cut people down because they're black. Don't call me a racist, and don't ever call me a gay. In your comments or anywhere that you're talking special to your friends somewhere, don't ever say I'm gay. I've been married 3 times. I've married a kind of person that needs a woman around. And now my woman's going away from me again. She can't get a job here. She got fired. We moved all the way from my house and rent out to her kids and his friends so they can use our house and help pay for a huge rent that we pay over here. We're the special schools. They're not so special people. My wife took care of me, visits me every day in the hospital from December 31st to January 17th. And those stupid idiots put one of those urine bags on me. It hurt terribly. I couldn't relax anywhere around the house. The only thing I could do was lay down all the way out. And then my thing that urinates the urine, it hurt me all day and all night long. Finally, my wife took it out. She used to be a caretaker. She knew how to do those things. She took that thing off and I didn't have to go back to the hospital and get it removed. What makes that hospital think they're so special? The St. Vincent's Hospital in Jacksonville. Don't ever enter that foot and go to the other one, go to the Orange Park Hospital. They'll treat you like a human being. And if you don't do exactly like they say over at St. Vincent's, they'll put something in you that makes you believe that your hands are all tied up. You can't touch anything because they have to put big boxing gloves on your hands so to get even with you for not listening to them about wearing their stupid oxygen masks, which is very painful on your face. The one at Orange Park wasn't painful. The one in Libertyville, Illinois, where I'm from, it wasn't that painful. Neither was Victory Memorial Hospital. It wasn't that painful. This isn't the first time I've been in the hospital for pneumonia. It's the 8th time. Those crazy people over at St. Vincent's Hospital and the crazy doctors, who knows who's ever running things there, needs to be shot by a firing squad. And I can't prove it. I can't take him to court. I can't be proven. They got by with murder. If you want to have patients and doctors and nurses get by with murder, go to St. Vincent's Hospital if you're coming to town and you're unfortunate enough to get sick. I wouldn't lie to you. I can't tell a judge. I can't tell a lawyer. I can't tell a jury. There's no way to prove it. And they know it. It's the worst hospital I've ever been to my whole life. And I've been to several of them around Chicago. I always complained about the one I was to hear. We're back in April Fool's Day, back in 2018. I was in there for 12 days. At least there, they weren't treating me like a prisoner, a criminal. If you get sick in this crazy town, or Orange Park, Jacksonville, or in almost different. Orange Park, part of it is in Duval County, where they had all the crooked elections going on many years back. Go to Orange Park Hospital. It's much better, even though I said some bad things about them too. There's some bad things about hospitals up north too. Like an infection on my body for 4 or 5 months. The wife said, no sex with you. I'm not going to catch that, whatever it is they gave you. They put me out for 4 or 5 days in the Libertyville Hospital back near Chicago, where I'm from, where I was raised and lived most of my life. The nurses there must have been too lazy to take care of my urinary habits and number 2 habits, Well, everybody does, even when you're put out. They didn't clean me good enough. I got an infection. It lasted for 4 or 5 months, 2 infections with red spots all over my body. Lucky thing not on my face. And I really been mad. A month of hospital visits. My chiropractor kicked my back, said, don't come back here till you get rid of it. They want nothing to do with me. The hospitals up north are so precious either, but they don't treat you like a prisoner when you get in there, and they know they can get by with every little thing that they do, because they know what they're doing. You don't listen to every word they say, even the point of wearing a mask that makes your face hurt 24 hours a day. Your face. The mask over there in Illinois didn't hurt my face when I had pneumonia. The mask over there at Orange Park Hospital, right close to this other stupid, crazy St. Vincent's Hospital, they didn't hurt my face when they put the mask on. I only complained about their mask. And they got evil with me for it, putting those boxing gloves on my hands so I couldn't touch anything. I pleaded them to take off. I even tried a nice ice. I told them how nice they are. I did everything. They wouldn't take it off. And they kept on with their irritating face mask of theirs to put oxygen in your lungs. Why couldn't they just use the plastic holes that catches to your nose? Why are people so crazy in one hospital here and not the other? Thank God we got one sane hospital to go to. Anyway, let's get back to your comments. There are so many comments, and really I appreciate all you new subscribers. Tell me, where do you come from? Back in 2017, around Christmas, PewDiePie helped me out. He watched some videos I made over in my grandkids' house near Chicago, my daughter's house, over there in Lyle. He made me famous. I used to have 8,000 subscribers. And a few months later on, I was up to 191,000 subscribers. And also some singers, like Snoop Dogg and some other famous singers, they helped me out. They seen some of my videos and gave me a shout out. That helped out a bit. But who is this new person my wife tells me about? I let her join my channel after PewDiePie got me all those subscribers. And she made a change from it. But she told me there's a new guy, a doctor or something, that's telling all you new subscribers, which I believe are coming in like big cement trucks for full subscribers. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, I was only at 191,000, going down from 195, and then all of a sudden, people started subscribing. It went from close to 220,000 now, today, and there's thousands and thousands of comments on my computer. I don't have the time, nor the energy, or being young enough to read all that stuff. And then there's you people who just enjoy swearing in your comments. I know I do a lot of swearing in my songs, and I use the N-word, the R-word. Your kids are listening to the same thing I'm singing about on the radio. How can you stop those people? Sure, you can put your shout outs to me, but I'm not racist, people. I was born Catholic. I was raised, all races are equal. Not that we're better than the blacks, or the Chinese people, or the Philippine people, or wherever you're from. I am not racist, and I'm not gay. So don't ever talk about me being gay. If I'm around you, you're gonna get in a fight with me. I don't care. You might beat my ass, but you're gonna get in a fight. Don't call me gay. I am not gay, and neither do I support it. Or other people that live down south here. 100 years ago supported getting slaves from Africa to help you guys make some money on their farms, growing cotton and all that other junk. My family came here from Europe. We had nothing to do with the Civil War. We came here afterwards. Don't blame me for all unequalness that you got from these southern people down here 100 years ago. Don't blame me. It wasn't me or my relatives, even my grandmother from my mom's side that came here in the 70s. My grandparents, which never came to this country, was my dad and mom did. They were born in the early 1900s. That's way after the Civil War, people. Don't blame my family for white people treating you bad over 100 years ago. It wasn't my fault. I like black people. I watched the show every Saturday on Soul Train back in the early 80s. It was a very popular show then. I don't know why they got rid of it. Oh well. Let me read some of your comments over here. YouTube has two separate things. One they call Help for Review for creators like me. They have likely spam also. Comments for people. And they keep these comments separate from you people that love to swear in your comments. If you don't like it, call them up and complain about it. But don't remember, we used to have newspaper columns, no internet. Back when I was a kid, we had newspaper columnists like Ann Landers. They didn't allow any swearing. You're not being treated unfairly now. You're not getting treated any better or worse than us older people that are going to be you someday. Whether you like it or not, whether you're lucky enough to live that long, whether you're lucky enough to get shot at school or some other public gathering. It's a terrible world we live in today, people. People shooting other people. They get a kick out of that. YouTube wants you to leave your dirty comments out of my column and everybody else's column because they don't want to be known as the teachers of all your 5 to 6 year old kids who now own computers and smartphones and all that other stuff that us kids never had. You know, this boy, he looks like a 5-year-old boy. It's a brand new comment. He got put over here in a section for Held for Review. I think it's Held for Review. Just a minute. Let me double check it. Yeah, there's two separate comments. One, you can't tell which one you're on. I'm on Held for Review. But this little boy, only like old enough to go to kindergarten or first grade, made me come in my pants. TBH. What kind of stuff is that, right? You're not allowed to do that when you're a kid my age. They probably throw you in jail. They treated you worse back then than they do now. Kids get by a murder. Are you allowed to spank your kids anymore? No, because that's bad for them. And here's this other kid. You don't even put his picture in here, some kind of doll or something. What a fucking crack. I love this so good, dude. I mean, he's got a little, make a heart with an angle, triangle, and a number 3. Oh, brother. Here's another kid. Fuck yeah. Is that the way a 5 or 6 year old supposed to be talking? Do these kids ever attend a church of any kind? I guess not. They'll probably grow up to be children shooters when they get big enough. You shoot other kids in school and get a big kick out of killing people. What a world is coming to. You guys will be lucky if you live as long as I do. Now, Putin is stressing us with bombing us unless we start behaving. How long is this world going to last, people? You better enjoy me while you can. This might be your last few weeks on Earth. You'll be destroyed in a nuclear fire. Now I'm not going to scare you people. I'm really glad you subscribed to me. And I'm trying to get known a little bit bigger around this big world of 8 billion people. A lot of people who don't have computers, of course, but a lot of you do. India has much more than us. How do you expect me to help PewDiePie beat those people over in India? They have twice as many computers as we do. A poor country like that. I try to help PewDiePie, and I think he's still ahead right now. I don't know. He might have bounced back. I don't keep up with that stuff, especially all my new subscribers. Well, believe. I can't possibly read all those comments, people. Don't feel sorry that I don't like you. I love you. I'm glad you subscribed to me, and I hope you stay subscribed. And who is the doctor my wife tells me about that got all you people to sign up with me? I never seen my subscribers move up that fast. I mean, it was only 191,000 just less than a month ago. Now it's close to 220,000. Anyway, why is this person? What kind of sense does this make to you? 144K, that means 144,000 likes to 838 dislikes. Why are you gay? Is he talking to gay people? You better not be talking to me. I love a woman. I love black people. I've been married all my life, except for 3 or 4 years back in the early 70s. Anyway, here's another person, Raindrop 67. I'm sorry, what the fuck? Is that it? We couldn't do that when we were kids. We couldn't write columns like and letters and have it printed in a newspaper. The people around town look at that newspaper closed town. YouTube wants to say business people. What is hold my microphone? What kind of message does that give? And there's something else strange. It's not just you people. It's the other column, likely spam. Some stuff they put in here is not very bad at all. I don't know why they do that. Can't get anybody at work over in San Francisco and YouTube headquarters to do their job. Here's one guy, Creeper. I fear no man but that thing. It scares me. What scares me? Why is it so bad? Okay, this is epic. What's so bad about that? Well, how come they got this on the likely spam column? The 10 rappers, Eminem was afraid to talk about me. What's so bad about that? Why is that in the good column? And there's a lot of people, I'm not just talking about a few. I mean, you got 69 here and held for review by YouTube. They keep it separate from the record column. Likely spam. This is also kept separate. I don't know why. A lot of these are good comments. Get somebody at YouTube is certainly doing their job the right way. They got 216 people, subscribers. The only subscribers can write into me. And peak human evolution. What's so bad about that, YouTube? Well, so everything is so strange to me as I get older. The other day, I called up AT&T my internet provider and cable TV provider, I told I can't get my computer to turn on. I talked to that guy on the phone for an hour. Finally, my wife gets out of bed around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. In the morning, she can't get to sleep at night. She doesn't go to bed and try to sleep. She gets to bed late, and she stays up and sleeps in the morning till 10, 11 o'clock. I get up around 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning. Anyway, she told me, well, you got to turn your switch, and you turn your switch off for the monitor. You know, I'm even getting too stupid to do anything, and too old. I forgot to turn the light back on the screen. Sometimes it's in my bedroom, because we moved away from our nice little house, so my little wife can get her a pretty little job here. I don't have to drive so far to go to work. She don't like the school doing all set with Bob. She got fired. She never got to teach around here after we moved here. She was taking care of me in the hospital, visiting me from December 31st to January 17th. I even needed some taking care of because the stupid idiots over the hospital, they put one of those things that grab the urine out of you before it gets to the toilet. Why? Who knows? I think they're just trying to be mean to me. Anyway, it was giving me pain all day long. The only way to get rid of the pain is lay down. And my wife was good enough, after 2 or 3 days of bothering her and bitching and hollering and screaming, she decided she could take the thing out of my penis by herself. But she used to be a caretaker when she first came to this country back in the early 2000s. We had to learn that stuff. Well, she took it off. But then she tried to go back to work only 2 or 3 days after I got back home. And guess what? She slept right through it. Just like she's doing now. She can't get up at 5 or 6 in the morning to go to work. Just like she's doing now. Can't get to sleep at night because she can't have sleeping problems. And sleeps way late into the morning. Anyway, she was supposed to go back to school that day, like she told them. And she never made it. So they fired her. Now she can't even get a teaching job around here. Anyway, in a town, the biggest spread city in the United States, an area, A-R-E-A, like Oklahoma City, a pretty big city, in area. Jacksonville is the biggest. She can't get a job anywhere in the school system here. This girl, she forgot to show up for work to her, say she said she was coming back. Now she said the only place to get a teaching job is in Detroit. I said, Detroit is colder than Chicago. She's always said, I'm not getting a regular teaching job here up north. They make you go outside in recess time and watch the kids. I'm not going to freeze my butt for them. So we moved down here. Lost my doctor told me to get there because I was catching pneumonia too many times up north out there by Chicago. And told me to go down here so I can have better health if it doesn't get so cold in winter time. Detroit gets even colder. They're further north than we are, like 100, 200 miles than Chicago. Not to mention the crime they have in that city. All those people out of work making those junk quality cars. Everybody switched over to Japan and other countries to buy cars from. Even me, back in '81, I bought a Chevy, the hatchback looking thing. You put the brakes on, the whole car spun around on the highway going backwards at 50, 60 miles an hour. Twice. One time I was driving home in the cold winter from work on second shift, where I used to work. Well, no, I guess I was a day shift then. Anyway, I worked overtime that day. It was dark, it was cold outside, and it was really cold. It was like about 10 degrees out there. And I had to drive some highway to get back home. We lived this side of the state, about 15 miles away from my job. Anyway, my car stuck, my brand new car, a Chevy, I forget what model it was, but it was made, the engine was made in Mexico, which done as the brightest machinist in the world. They give my one of the pulleys pulled the fan belt running from the water pump to turn the water pump. It turned that piece of equipment, and the belt came off, and the car quit because the machinists over in Mexico City didn't know how to make a pulley without a 16-inch round. Run out. What if one out? You say when you see something spinning real fast and it bounces all over the place, it has a lot of runouts. When I'm a machinist for 50 years, we made pulleys too. Our pulleys weren't allowed to have any more than 3,000 runouts. Now, 1,000th of an inch is much bigger than a 16th of an inch. 1,000th of an inch is 1 out of 1,000. 16th of an inch is 62 thousandths. It's 62 times bigger. And that's kind of run out of that. That's why that pulley flew off, and the belt came off with it. And poor Johnny D got stuck. And get out of the car, I walked a mile to a farmhouse and asked him if I could use their phone. It's a good thing they didn't think I was a stranger or something, or looked like a criminal, or a black person or something. They probably wouldn't even let me answer the door. They let me in, and they let me call up the serviceman. Lucky thing, I probably would have died on the way home, trying to walk home in that cold weather. Especially for me, catching all that pneumonia. Anyway, that's why I buy Hondas now, ever since 1981. And she's gonna try to get a job over there? Well, all those crooks, nobody has a decent job there anymore. They couldn't build quality cars. They were lazy. They shipped cars over to other countries. Not a very good decision, Mr. General GM Manager. And look what happened to Chrysler. Our government, how many times our government bailed them out? And she's gonna go get a job there? What kind of job in life is she gonna have over there? I hope she just takes a substitute job over here in St. Augustine. That's the oldest city in the United States, people. We live just north of there in Orange Park. And St. Augustine, it's right next to the ocean. If a hurricane comes along, she's liable to happen while she's at work. And they're gonna shut off the electricity. That's the only thing bad that happened to us so far. Electricity was off. First 2 times for about 9-10 hours. The last one, that big one, Irma, it took our electricity out for close to a day. Nothing works. And if you go outside and buy gas for your generator, you might not find a station that's open. It might be sold out because of the hurricane. There's penalties living in Florida too. But the one for sure you're gonna get every year in Detroit in wintertime is blizzards. BLIZZARDS. That's all that white coming down in a storm. You know, white outs on the highway. Can't see where you're going for about 20, 30 seconds. Plenty long enough time to get into an accident. And slippery around every time you make a turn on the slippery road, your car is going to slide outwards. Centrifugal force does that. And no friction on those tires to the road where there's ice and snow. You're going to go sliding into the curb and ruin your driving things underneath the car. I lived in there for 70 winters, so I know what it's all about. I know about black ice. You can't see it on the highway, but it's there. I seen a 60-car pileup near Chicago Expressway, right up 94 going north. I seen all that stuff, people. And those really bad fogs that you have down up in Wisconsin, but you only live a few miles away from it. And people driving down the road 70, 80 miles an hour. They don't care if they hit anything. They can't even see anything in front of them if you're even going 20 miles an hour. There's a lot worse places to live in Florida, believe you me, here in the United States. Ask any driver. I've been driving cars since I was 18 years old. I'm 75 now. About the people, you ask me, how old am I? I'm old enough to know better. That's for sure. Anyway, don't be disappointed because I haven't read your comment and put a red heart by it. And I told you that red heart before. It's not because I love you so much. It's because I need a marker to know where I left off in case I have to get up and use the washroom, go get something to eat. I can't spend hours and come back and find out what word did I leave off, especially now with all those subscribers. And don't think I don't like having more subscribers, because I do. But I don't have the time, the energy, or being young enough to do all the reading and comments and put a pretty red heart by it for you. I hope your subscribers keep on growing, because I think if you get a prize for something like 1 million subscribers now. How long is it going to take one? I know, PewDiePie's got 90 million subscribers, and you guys compare me to him. I am nowhere near him. And my wife and I thank him every day for helping us, because we're poor just like you are. Sure, I was a machinist. I made pretty good money. And my wife, she has almost a doctor's education on a computer at home. So don't treat her like a dummy. She's much smarter than me, except for math, of course. I could beat most people in the world on math. I was such a great star inside the machine shop. They would get rid of old people before they get rid of me, because I knew my job. I knew how to set up machines. I knew how to make changes in the computer programming. But you need to know a lot of math, very good at math, not just a normal person, a very good person, one that knew trigonometry. Over the day shift, which I didn't like to work because of the traffic, even around Chicago, even around a town 40 miles away from Chicago, I didn't like the traffic. And I didn't like those bosses staring over my face all day long. Oh, John needs some more work to do. He has time to read a newspaper or a magazine. Get him some more work to do. And then put up those same bosses of mine back when I first started working there, when I was on day shift. Around 5:30 in the evening, they leave, we start around 3:30 in second shift. They go home. So, and I didn't have those people looking over my shoulder all day. Oh, John needs some more work to do. Find him another job to do on a side job while he's running that machine. They treat you like animals at work, even for top quality machines. You get treated like an animal. Maybe you like working under those conditions. I sure did. Don't become a machinist today, people. You got, instead of 7 tubes of wash, you got 300 tubes to put in the machine. They hold 302 different tubes, inserts, drills, milling cutters, everything you can think of. You used to have to watch 30 reading on a blueprint for one operation. Now they don't do everything. They do everything in 3 operations. They have 2 lathe operations and 2 milling operations. Milling is all simple. You can cut anywhere on a piece. on a lathe, everything has to be cut on center line, like bars, castings. A milling machine, you can go any part of a casting and cut into it and machine it. There's one milling operation, there's two turret lathe operations, a lathe operation. The machines nowadays take the feet out, turn them out, take them out of the chuck, and put them on the other side of the chuck and do two lathe operations today, people, not this one, and a milling operation. Instead of 30 dimensions to control on the first operation, you got 90 now. And also, they want these machines running day and night and weekends. They don't want people running the machines, taking coffee breaks, taking talking breaks, going outside for smoke breaks. They don't want that anymore, people. They want everything to be automatic, making parts 24 hours a day, every hour on Saturday when you're trying to get home, getting a rest from your job, and every day, hour on Sunday. That's the way the world is today. One of these days, there won't be no need for truck drivers. There won't be no need for people working at McDonald's frying hamburgers and serving you. There won't be no need for that. It's a thing called AI, artificial intelligence. I don't know how this government of ours is going to find jobs for everybody that don't have any more than a truck driver's education or working in McDonald's education. Because they don't have to worry about it anymore, because there won't be any more jobs for that. What are you people going to do then? You might never live to be as old as I am. Even now on today on the news, what do you read about? People getting shot to death and injured over in El Paso, Texas. What kind of world are we bringing up? People getting shot over in Dayton, Ohio. A city like in Ohio, where most people are happy people. In Pennsylvania, where they work, they don't cause any trouble. Putin today is threatening us to go to World War III. How are you ever going to live to be as old as me? Some days I wish I was dead. It's so hard putting up with all that dirty smoke and pollution in the machine shop until the middle 90s. They put some machine scrubbers to clean the air a little bit. My brother taught me how to smoke cigarettes. Thanks a lot, brother Nick. He has never been in the hospital for pneumonia yet. Why? Because he never worked in the factory, for one thing. He always worked in clean air offices. Maybe cigarette smoking has not everything to do with my illness, but some days I sure wish I was dead. It's terrible not being able to breathe, people. It's terrible having to go to the grocery store and use one of those electric carts. Have everybody look at you like a cripple. Some people at the grocery stores here, they help you out. You bring your groceries out to the trunk. And then my wife, she gets a big bright idea, move apartments, where she can get a nice close job to her mostly more intelligent children out here, way out north, southwest of where we used to live. Her bright ideas. Now she can't even get a job here. Man, the kids, it doesn't make a difference whether you go to some of the best schools in here, where all the money is, or where you're in the poor section of the city, where the money is not. Doesn't make any difference, people. The schools I went to out in Round Lake, a little town about 35, 40 miles northwest of Chicago, they weren't nothing special about it. It was just poor people living there. And I got an education. I didn't need to go to the best schools in Lake County or Cook County. I got an education. And I make a lot more money than my kids do, who live in a nice section of Lake County and Waukegan, way in the northwest side, in the town of Gurnee, that can only support the kids there. Couldn't support all of Waukegan area that they covered. They had to send the kids over there, where we live, to the special Gurnee schools, which both my children, now in the age of upper 30s and low 40s, went to school. And not making hardly any money, and calling up dear old dad to send him a check in the mail to help take care of her living expenses, like groceries and clothes, rent. Didn't help him one bit. It's supposed to help my wife's 2 grandkids that we adopted because their mom couldn't afford to take care of her, because she couldn't get a man to marry her, or they probably didn't even want to, maybe. Maybe she's the kind of person who can't live with another man the most of her life. But she couldn't afford her kids. We had adopted. I was paying for them anyway, paying for a place for them to live, a place to go to school, a place to get clothes and food on the table, 2 or 3 meals a day. Her daughter can't afford her own kids. Now who's going to take care of her when my wife heads off to Detroit trying to get a school teaching job? It's a crazy world we live in, people. Sorry, you gotta be born now. It's getting worse every day. We might not survive another year before we go to World War III, a nuclear war. Maybe, well, that's why we can't find anybody, aliens living on the other worlds out there. They probably got as far as we did, developed the atomic bomb, atomic the H-bomb, and now they don't exist anymore. They killed themselves off. What a world we've got people living in today. Anyway, I'm sorry to bring all this bad news upon you. If you don't know how to read the newspaper or watch the news on TV, you're not going to know what's going on in the world. I'm probably lucky I didn't get my ass blown off at a karaoke place singing the bad R word, because I'm such a racist. I'm not a racist, people. I love the world. I enjoy doing this for free. None of you people want to join Patreon. If this money's getting so low from Patreon, I hope to get the membership from YouTube. That's the only thing I'm not eligible for. Even though I love to sing, I still got to have some money to do that. My camcorder is broken. It doesn't remote control won't work anymore. That's why you see me reaching over and in the video. The remote control won't work anymore. Today, I couldn't even use it for a video because the battery is not supposed to run out. It's always plugged in. Why would the battery wear out? It's just getting old, people. Who's got $600 for a new one? Who has $90 a month for the internet service? Who needs hundreds of dollars a month you have to pay for people to take the viruses out of your computer? They had to spend another $350 2 days ago. The bank got it all screwed up. They used a credit card I hadn't used for over a year. I change credit cards 3 or 4 times a year. Same company. Today I wasted the whole gosh damn day talking to people on the phone with the bank. The bank I used to keep up with my credit card changes because of all the scammers on the internet. I had 75 hackers on my computer just a few days ago because I let it expire. The last service I bought was 3 years ago. And I bought people service from Geek Squad over at Best Buy. Many of you people know who I'm talking about. This is where I bought my computer from. And they also sell service there. But they don't know everything, people. They can't get rid of all the scammers. Even the big companies in the United States can't get rid of them. They're getting to be more of a problem. People coming right into your home, robbing you without gunpoint, taking all your money out of the bank and getting scammed, especially for fools like me. What a terrible world we live in today. But let's forget all about that, people. I'm glad you came here to enjoy my singing. I actually wasn't that good of a singer when I was younger. I don't know why, but God gave me a better voice as I got older. I was actually good enough to sing maybe 15 years ago. But I didn't want to get talked to by all the guys at work. Most of them ran about singing on YouTube. I didn't really start till I retired back in 2010. Maybe a week or two earlier than I retired. I didn't want those people hassling me every day I come to work and say, "Oh, John, you did a terrible job in that song. Why don't you go back to the bar and have a few drinks there?" You know how people are at work that you see every day. And I just kept my singing out of it till I retired. And then I just felt the sudden urge to do something with my retirement. I was never a good golfer. I spent a lot of money in golf, $1,000 for clubs. Even in northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, it costs money to play. They're not going to let you go under pretty cut grass and their fairways and everything without paying. It costs a lot of money to play golf. I can see why a lot of kids don't learn. But it's a very fascinating game until you smoke so many cigarettes in your life and bring some dirty machine shop air. One day you find out you can't even go to the driving range and practice hitting a few balls without running out of breath. Anyway, I had to quit playing golf. All the years I lived up near Chicago, only maybe 10, maybe 15 days a year, not a month, a year. It's nice enough to play golf. It's not July or August. It's May, June, September, October, a little bit of October, that you get to play golf. And there's only not too many days of that, maybe 10 at the most, where it's in the 70s. And I moved down here after I smoked all those cigarettes, breathed all that dirty machine shop air. It's not going to save you people. It's already too late. It's time for you to die. Like the rest of your friends. They're all sitting 6 feet under with heart attacks, COPD, emphysema, you name it. You can't escape that, people. Wait till you get older, and it's a struggle for you to go to a grocery store, even after your wife wants you to move to an apartment building, or it's a longer walk between the parking space and where you live. Wait till she gets my age. When she goes visit her home city over in Manila, she has to wear a handkerchief over her face to breathe some clean air. You don't know how good you got it here, people that live in the United States, breathing that clean air. You don't even have the stupid people on TV anymore telling you to go out and get smoke a pack of cigarettes, a pack of Newports, a pack of Pall Mall, walk a mile for a camel. You walk a mile, you'll be walking a few feet before you run out of breath. Wait till you get old. Anyway, people, cut down, leave your dirty words at home, like we had to. We couldn't do it either. We couldn't write to Ann letters and use the word, all those sexual orientated words or those N-words, or all those bad words they tell you not to say in church. Leave them at home. And your fellow other fans will appreciate your comments just as much reading them as they do your dirty swear words. It's not me that controls the world. Don't forget, people, it's not just you and I. older people, a lot older than a lot of you fans, and the middle-aged fans, and most of my fans, of course, are between the ages of 15 and 35, and the male. I try my best to get more women to sign up for my channel, but there's only 10-15% maybe. The rest of them are men. And don't forget nowadays, with people having as much money as they do for their children, they can't spank on their little bitty butts anymore. I don't know exactly. I had my butt spanked a few times when I was a kid, and I deserved it. I'm not mad at my dad and mom for that. I deserved the spankings I got. One time, I almost caught the house on fire from a cigarette butt. My dad's friends came over and smoked in our house. He left the cigarettes there one day, and me and my little sister went up to the bedroom to have a little smoke. We almost set the whole house on fire. I deserve a good spanking. Well, today's rules, I can't argue with all the governors worry about, oh, don't you dare spank your little kid's butt. We'll throw you in jail. I don't know what you guys are going to do to survive people, but it's not going to be sending me dirty comments on my fan mail. Please stop that. Go to the bar and do all your swearing down there with the other drinkers like yourselves or your other friends in your gangs. Leave them at home, people. And I really enjoy the fact that you're getting me more popular with something like, let's see, 29,000 subscribers in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And let me know in your comments that you make about my singing. Let me know who was the one that drove you over here. It wasn't PewDiePie. He's all done with it. Who was the one, the doctor, my wife says it's a doctor. He only has 2.5 million subscribers. Don't forget, PewDiePie has 90 million subscribers that enjoyed my singing, even though I had no singing equipment over at my daughter's house, who was poor, even though I paid money for her to go to college. She took the worst course she could ever take for getting a job in the movies. Nobody gets a job in the movies, people, except this is who you know. Just like me, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And PewDiePie happened to like me. That's how come I got famous. He enjoyed me singing cheap equipment over at my daughter's house. We're doing karaoke and send it to the internet. Actually, I take a picture with my smartphone of my monitor and send them over to YouTube so I can show, because I got so many views on SingSnap, a service you have to pay $112 a month a year for. Of course, they have some advantages that YouTube doesn't, but YouTube stole a lot of songs from SingSnap, and SingSnap took some songs from them. YouTube karaoke is free. You don't have to pay a cent. All the words I sing, they come right from YouTube. They're for free. You never had that when I was young, when we had our days of 78 RPM records, 45 RPM records, 33 and a third RPM records. That's revolutions per minute, people. RPM records. 33 LPs. That's what called long play records. They're big, a lot bigger than the 45. I haven't used my records for years. I don't know where my wife put them in storage somewhere. I think she still got them. Just you got stuff today that anybody can become a singer. All that stuff is free on YouTube. All you have to do is make sure you pay those people to help you keep the viruses out of your computer. You pay your monthly fee to the internet, AT&T, Infinity, whatever. I don't know what you got over there in the other country, but it's all for free. They even give you the words to the songs. Some songs you have to do a little bit more research. You have to look up the lyrics in one section of your browser and play the music in another section of your browser. It's not simple sometimes. It's very hard. Sometimes you have to sing famous people in the past that you loved, like Major Lance back in the 60s. His songs are yet to show up at any karaoke place in the country. It's not there. He won't even put it on the internet. If you want to sing one of his songs, 3 or 4 or 5 songs, maybe back in the 60s, you'll have to sing over his voice. But today you got thousands and thousands of songs you can sing for free. You could be doing like me. You can have your voice coming out of your TV set, which I got back in the corner there. And it's all it plays is your voice. The music, the background music singers, and the instruments all come from your computer. My voice comes from goes to that karaoke machine by the TV set and plays just the sound of your voice. That's all you're hearing. You can do all that. Once you pay for all that stuff, it's for free. Back when I was your age, we didn't have black and white TV to the 50s. I was just before high school. I was going to upper grade school. We had 4 channels of black and white, a 12, 14-inch screen. With singers, we heard them on the radio, like you did, in AM though, amplitude modulation, not FM modulation. AM, it stands for amplitude modulation. It's waves that go up and down like this, through the air. They go a lot further than FM, but sometimes they pick up a lot of storms too, all the bad stuff up in the atmosphere. Frequency modulation is much better, and then you can put stereo on it too. We didn't have that stuff back in the 50s when I was going to grade school and high school. You couldn't even get to know what your singers looked like unless they had put it on the Ed Sullivan Show or some famous director of shows back then in the 50s when you only had 4 stations and black and white. Your radio stood as tall as you did. It was 3 or 4 feet tall, as big as you when you were a kid back in the 40s, in a big cabinet full with a bunch of vacuum tubes. There's no quick stereo FM to put in your car. We had other things back then. We had 8 tracks, recording equipment that it was on those tracks, and you played them inside your car for a good song. My first car just had an AM radio in it. Maybe 3, 4, 5 stations that played the cool stuff. That was when I was 18 years old. That was 1961, around that time of the year of my life. That's all they had. Nowadays, you got all the stuff you can use to become a singer like me. I couldn't sing that good when I was young. I wasn't good enough to join a church choir. I wasn't good enough to join a big high school choir like my daughter did. I would spend money on her, give her private lessons for singing. I never had no lessons at all. She sang the lead singer in the church school choir of about 1,000 children. That's how big the high school is. I'm trying to get her to take over my career when I pass away. Or my son, he had 1,300 views on his rap song when he's living over there in San Antonio, Texas. Barely making it. There's too many air conditioning people there. He has to start his own company. He spoke for other people and got fired plenty of times. And he's even a instructor at the school down there at the school to teach children how to be an air conditioning and heating pump expert to go around fixing people's houses. Otherwise, all these people wouldn't have came down here to the South to live anyway. You need air conditioning here, people, 12 months a year. Well, not too much in January and late December, but the most of the time you need air conditioning. But there's too many people in the my son is barely making it. How is he going to advertise it being a new business? All these lawyers here are getting on TV. They advertise their business. Call us up. There's thousands of lawyers in this city, people. There's a lot of crime here. It's not, some places it's more dangerous here than Chicago. My wife is from the Philippines, as you know. She was born in Manila and would have all that dirty, filthy air to breathe. Believe you me, people, you wouldn't like it. You would treat what you treat normally, the fresh air that you get to breathe in this country, that you take for granted every day of your lives. Go to these foreign countries when you get over and see how they have to live. You would not like it. I had to go to the hospital there. Lucky thing, their hospital bills are cheap. What I did over in the Philippines, I had 6 doctors and nurses waiting on me for 7-8 hours. Would have been a fantastic bill here in Illinois or Florida. It would have been thousands of dollars insurance bill for your insurance company, if you're lucky enough to have insurance, to pay your bill. They only charged my insurance company back here in the States. I was on vacation with my wife, visiting her country and breathing that dirty, filthy air. There's no pollution laws in the Philippines. There's the smell of oil everywhere except for by the seashore, by the Pacific Ocean. If you're not going to get a house over there, then you got it made. But if you're like all the millions and millions of other people that live in a city like Manila, and even up in the mountains up north where there's hardly anybody living there, there's the stinking smell of oil and pollution from cars. A lot worse even in the United States than I had it when I was a kid, when they sold lead in your gasoline for higher octane. The air is much better here now than it was back then when I was young. Maybe it's called part of my trouble with pneumonia also. Who knows? Because pneumonia is something that's not very pleasing people. A lot of people are lucky enough to drop dead when they go in the hospital for pneumonia. I wasn't, not for 8 times already. It's terrible trying to live and barely able to breathe. Those oxygen machines, they help out a little bit. They can only wear in one room in the house, but you're going to drag 50-foot holes all around with you behind you, not tripping over things and getting in the way of everything. And your wife, she knows all the trouble you had and still wanted to move out here to an apartment building, where there's a longer walk between here and where you live. From your car to the refrigerator in home in your kitchen, where you can get your ice cream in there and all those other refrigerating products before they spoil. And you have trouble getting at home every day when you go to the grocery store and you know it's going to be for a breeding ritual. Lucky thing, the nice stores around here, the more expensive stores. Now, I'm not talking about Walmart. They have people working there. They give you a hand and helping you take your groceries out to your trunk. But from then on the way home, people, it's up to you. Sometimes I had to get my wife out of her bedroom and say, help me put away these groceries. You're the one that wanted to come out here and live in an apartment. Anyway, I'm sure you got plenty of better stuff to do. I'm going to get going now. I think I've been on the air for an hour and 10 minutes. It's probably too long. Well, I hope you enjoyed me putting on a video for you, even though I don't have the best things in the world to tell you. And I surely like to welcome you to becoming one of my subscribers. And don't forget, I wasn't able to sing as good as I am now. I don't know why God helped me out bring all this good music to you now. He made my voice better. I didn't start till 11 years ago. My own kids, when they're teenagers, they used to tell them to shut up. We don't want to talk in the back seat. We don't want to hear you saying in your car, going down the road driving. My own kids. Oh well, I would to wish each and every one of you a nice summer, end of your summer vacation. And this is us lucky parents here, get rid of our kids for 7 to 8 hours a day because they have to go start school next week. Up there in Georgia, just a few miles from me, maybe 30, 40 miles from here, north, they had to start school already in Georgia. That's the state right above Florida, the peninsula state, if you just want to look at the map. Anyway, thanks for joining. I hope the subscriber gets bigger and bigger, and maybe someday I'll get a reward from YouTube for having 10 million subscribers. But I sincerely doubt it. I don't even think the world's going to last that long, the way things are going nowadays. No wonder we can't find any aliens out there. That's all a bunch of BS on YouTube, those shows. They just make up all those stories just so they can make some money. And the little advertising money they get for showing you those shows are all mostly preposterous. Like maybe 911. They even told just a year or two ago that they doubt if there was some real astronauts back at 69 when I was young. They said those were fake. That was a Hollywood movie. Now they're saying they want to go back to the moon. And what were they telling me and others like you that watch their crazy shows and nothing better to do? Now they're saying the moon is an object put there by the aliens. It's not a real moon. It's hollow in the middle. Who knows what to believe? It always, YouTube and their shows, they're just fantasies. People trying to make money off you, watching their movies. They'll make anything and tell you anything they can possibly get you to believe. Like Nibiru, 911, fake moon landings by a Hollywood film director. Who knows what they're going to bring up next? And who would like to believe that they caused all that trouble in 911, even though they had all the equipment to do it and probably make better movies of it than you can see in real life? Who knows? Anyway, write to me about comments about what you believe and all those BS shows that YouTube puts on, trying to make every little penny out of your advertising dollars that they can, no matter how fake it is, just for people to make money. I'm not trying to make money off you people. I enjoy singing. Not that God has given me a real good voice to sing with that I got when I got older. I only started this 11 years ago. Well, maybe not even then. Late 2009, December. Mainly starting in January of 2010. 3 years after my wife, we started going steady, and she bought me a karaoke machine. She whipped my ass. She whipped my son's ass singing on her Filipino karaoke machine. It was a very expensive thing. It cost around $300 or $400 for her. He was nice enough to give me that one Christmas. Don't cut my wife down so much about being, I let her get on my show. She ran out of money. She couldn't finish her doctor's education on the internet with her home computerized program at home. She couldn't finish it, didn't have the money. We're not poor, rich people. We're just struggling to get by like most of you. We don't spend any money on fast cars, on jewelry, or her. She don't spend any money on clothes. She don't even spend any money on makeup. I know some women at work, they used to spend $100 or $200 a month on makeup or hair salons. Just to look pretty for her husband. My wife, as big as expense is credit cards, buying stuff she can't afford, and going on trips. She was brought up Catholic too. She was the only woman I married to that was Catholic. The other two were Protestants. Both of them are dead. One for getting into a car with a bunch of silly, sick, drunken drivers going from one bar to another. The guy's trying to knock off his two friends that are standing in the back of his pickup truck, trying to knock them off and knock them down on the ground. Oh, was he a laugh? Was he a big laugh? His little pickup truck fell over on the side of the road, and the gas can, we put the gas in, right above the driver, outside the car, on top of the truck, with a big tube there to put the gasoline in when you fill up the station. Also, the whole truck tilted over on the side from him trying to knock his two buddies off in the back of the truck. And he had my wife in the middle of the front seat of the truck, and his other friend sitting inside the truck, which all three died a day later. My wife died right away. And the fire that came out of the gasoline, out of the truck spilling on the road, and the metal pipe scraping on the concrete surface, the black pavement, with the sparks flying out of it. It wasn't long before there was a big flame around 70, 80 feet in the sky that I heard of. I was at home sleeping, getting ready for my job the next morning, early in the morning. I was over at my house sleeping and didn't experience that horrible event, watching 3 people get burned alive from a 60, 70-foot gasoline flame popping out of the truck going sky high. Lucky thing, the 2 guys in the back end, they jumped off. They lived. The only ones to stay alive. My other wife, she got sick and died one day to my son, who's still living at home, and me. And it was a very lonely experience for us. I was married to her for like over 30 years. I met my last wife here, who was crazy about apartments and credit cards and spending and visiting different towns, traveling. That's where her big expense came in. Now she's talking about moving 800 miles up north to go to work in a crazy city where Eminem comes from. Who knows where Eminem, you can't even find out where that guy lives anymore. They won't tell you. And when you get as famous as Eminem, you have to keep your place a secret. There might be somebody out to kill you, just because they're so jealous maybe of you. I was hoping someday somebody would shoot me down at the bar for saying the N-word in a song, so I won't have to go on suffering anymore. I almost wish I was dead in the hospital, especially that hospital, the worst hospital in the world. The hospital in the Philippines was 10 times better than that hospital. St. Vincent's? be careful what hospital you step your foot into, people. You might get in the same shoes they put me in. And you can't prove SHAIT when you get out. They don't leave anything that you can prove to a judge or a lawyer or a jury that they misbehaved on you. What terrible people in the world today. Sometimes it's not worth living, people. Sometimes you'll feel and almost get a divorce like I did. Because being in the hospital, getting treated mean by those people. And you had convinced your wife that they're right and you're wrong. They couldn't send me to a mental hospital when they got me out of there. All they did was, let's get John one of those urine devices where you have to leak in the bag. Yeah, you people, I wish I could strangle every one of you with my bare hands. You and your doctor, the doctor telling that nurse to do that to me. How come I didn't have to go get a urine device put on me on the 7 or 8 other times in hospitals? Why? Those mean people. Stay away from those people mean. They can really treat you bad, and you can't prove a damn thing when you get out of there. All right. Goodbye, people. I've been on the air for an hour and 21 minutes. At least I could tell how long I've been on here with my smartphone. You know, I had people talk to me today because I had my computer fixed last week, and my bank took one of the oldest credit cards I was using back then. I had to switch credit cards 3 or 4 times. Same company, but switch companies just to get the scammers off my back on the internet. I only had my service expired for 3 months, and I still had Geek Squad and Microsoft paying those people too to keep critters off my computer. I had 75 hackers on my computer when those people, I told them to fix it. I was getting sick and tired. Those people, they even put commercial, my $112 a year membership to SingSnap, they put commercials on that too. Anyway, my bank screwed, they didn't take care of me like they used to. I had them for 3 or 4 years. I won't say the name of the bank, but they used a credit card I had a credit with, the same company, a year ago. They used to keep up with my changing numbers of my credit card every few months. They used to fix it for me. And I paid a credit card company. They used up-to-date credit card. Now, I spent all day long talking to the people at the bank. How did you make a mistake? Why did you send the wrong amount of money? Why did you use a credit card number on my credit card? Why did you use the one that was over a year old? You didn't even use the one I had earlier this last month. You didn't use the one I had just after I got out of the hospital. You used a different one. How do you expect the company to get, how am I supposed to pay the company that worked on my computer for the next 3 years membership? They haven't got their money yet. I know it takes you 3 or 4 business days to get pay somebody that you owe money to, but why did you have to make such a, they send a different amount of money, people. They really screwed me up. My company that worked on my computer for hours, that I'm at home, they're working. They know stuff that the Geek Squad and Best Buy doesn't know how to fix. They don't know everything. Or Microsoft, or what's another name of the company that tries to sell you service to keep those hackers off your computer. I don't know if it's straightened out yet. And the credit card company, I won't spoil, won't tell you the name of them either, but they screwed up too. They sent me a card and gave me some money for purchases for gasoline and groceries back like I used to. Before my wife ruined my credit, I had credit card companies pay me $400 a year, just cash money back for free. When my credit rating was over 800, now it's like 550 or something like that. It's terrible. I have a credit card limit of $700. I thought that was bad. I used to have a $10,000 limit. Now they sent my credit card company. They sent me a new credit card, but they reduced my spending power like from $700 to $500. There wasn't enough money in there to pay these people that worked on my computer, so they denied it. And of course, it takes 3 or 4 days of business days, and weekends don't count. Saturday and Sunday, they go home and spend their time with their families. They don't work there at the bank or the credit card company or anything. And it takes 4 or 5 days to pay somebody. And then they send the wrong amount. I don't know how my bank did that. They never had bad people working for them like that. Most of them had brains. I'm not going to tell you the name of the bank, because I still need for someone to keep an eye on me so I can pay my bills like everybody else, not have to run over to the bank or ATM machine, someplace to pay $2 or $3 to get your money out of your bank. And they sent me a credit card with a telephone number on it, and I had to listen to some BS trying to sell me some kind of necklace to put around my neck. So I fall down in my apartment here and not able to get up and get to my cell phone to get a device to press a button, and it'll call everything for no price at all from me. They'll give it to me completely free. Only I have to pay $30 a month. They don't tell you that to the end of the story, because I see the other commercials. They wouldn't even let me talk to anybody there at the credit card company about getting a real live person and get this big mess straightened out. I don't even know if they're going to pay those people tomorrow. I spent 4 or 5 hours today, and one thing, a half an hour listening to commercials by my credit card company, gave me a phone number to talk and to listen to gosh damn people, and they never even transfer you over to the real office you're trying to get hold of. What kind of people are running the banks today in the credit cards? Crazy people. And why does the bank all of a sudden decide to hire someone who doesn't watch over their customers and pay somebody a bill with their credit card and send them the wrong amount and the wrong number on your credit card that you haven't used in maybe a couple of years or so? Of course, today I learned how to change the credit card number every time I get a new one, so that don't happen again, even with their probably new, young, unintelligent employees that they hire. Who knows what happened? Where did they get that figure from to send the credit card company? It wasn't from me. My typing isn't that bad. To send a number $40, $50 off from what number you tell them to send them. And to use one of your oldest cards they can possibly find in their records and use that instead of the credit card that you're using today, and spend hours trying to sell you something that you don't possibly have any interest in, trying to get rid of the worries that happen when your people you try to pay with a credit card doesn't go through. But you better spend an hour wasting your time listening to ads to sign up for this, to sign up for that, and they never transfer you back over to the main office you're trying to reach. I'm just crazy. They make me crazy. Anyway, goodbye, people. And keep subscribing and tell your friends to subscribe, because my wife and I, we're going to need all the money we can get just to stay married. She can't get a job, a school job, anywhere around here since she failed to even report to work when she couldn't even get up in the morning and go anywhere and got fired. And all these places that need schools around here, just a one town, St. Augustine, they need a few substitute teachers there. Maybe she'll be lucky enough to get a job there. And my wife and I can see more live in separate places and separate cities. The world's a mess, people. Goodbye and good luck.